Ladies and gents, we're live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Right, well, seems like we're good. We're all good in the hood. So yeah, the last, ironically, my last video that I posted got a copyright strike because I did show some of that Castles in the Sky video. So that got struck off. I tried to edit it out of the thing, but it had to re-encode and I couldn't be bothered. So anyway, the last video I did yesterday didn't go up, like I said, because I got a copyright strike because of that Castles in the Sky video. Anyhow, how's everyone been? How's your day been? So I wanted to show you these. Look at these little puppies. So this is the new one that came in today. This is my normal Hytera, just as a comparison. But I was really impressed with these. Like I said, I wasn't expecting much, considering these cost, let's say, under a tenner. Bearing in mind, it comes with a detachable battery as well. Let me just put the what's it on this. Just put that one back. So it comes with a box. It comes in a box like that, all quite nice and packaged with branding and everything. So it's pretty legit, and it's got a CMII number on it. If basically the CMII number is basically like the FCC of America, everything has to be approved, especially if it's in radio bands and stuff like that. So yeah, that came through. Sorry, multitasking. There we go. So what you get in the box, again, there was a plastic liner inside, which I've taken out, but it basically comes with, and don't forget, this is for a tenner, right? It comes with a proper charger with no wall wart, the transformers inside, right? Little bit cheapy plastic, but yeah, anyway, not great. It came with headphones with a little mic and an earpiece, and I do like these. Let me just. This is a box opening. There we go. I do like these because let me just put them down here to show you. Because the cable's a braided cable. It's a braided cable on there, so they're really hard to get tangled up, which is really good. And the mic has a very good, has a nice little solid PTT clicker button, right? And these were like part of the package. This is the connection to it. This is a standard Motorola. Unfortunately, this doesn't fit my Hytera radios because the headset that I got for the Hytera is that connection. Slightly similar, but obviously side by side you can see that they don't line up. They're different. So anyway, these Madonna style headset I'm going to use for the Hyteras. Great for doing shows if there's ever shows to be done, or even weddings, or directing fashion shows, or whatever. There's probably none going to happen in the near future, but anyway. So that came in, and then obviously separately I bought a USB programming cable, which again is I think this is a standard Motorola plug. It'll work on any Motorola. So basically, according to the spec sheet, and again, I couldn't find these on the website. These are actually made by Motorola Shanghai. So these are actually China only radios. They're not international. This is the spec sheet. So let's zoom in a bit. So it says the power's 12 watts. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. What I do like about it is, let me just put the cable in. Now, to answer your question, the place where I bought it from, I was able to chat to the store using Google Translate. There's the little push to talk. Ignore the green sticker. I've just stuck that on so I can, because I've ordered another couple. So what it's got a proper dial, and it came with Chinese firmware. So basically, when you turned it on, it went Kaiji or the equivalent. But now I have a listen.
Turn on the radio. 1,
So it actually says turn on the radio.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, so that's the push to talk there, and then also you've got the channel up and down. So these are the channel up and down, push to talk. You've got an LED signal LED at the end, and then you've got a volume control, and it's just a switched volume control. Solid construction, and yeah, the main thing that shocked me about this is it's an aluminium body, just like the Hytera ones. And the Hytera ones are 120 quid. This is a tenner. So, super impressed by these. What I've got to be careful when I key up, not for any kind of radio problems, is the radio waves take out my computer if I'm not careful, and obviously that's going to restart the stream. So yeah, I was extremely shocked, if you like, by the quality you get for the cost. Again, I ordered this separately. This cost $2. This was like £2. This USB cable. What I was able to do, I was able to talk to the person in the shop, and I said to him, look, what programming software does it do? Does it use Chirp, or does it use something like that? And they said, oh, it's proprietary software. So I thought, okay, well, can you send it to me? And they basically emailed me the zip file of this. It's a very small program, only about 1 meg, of this Windows basically programming software. It's very similar to the Baofeng. It's not very advanced, but it allows you to do all the codes. What happened is they programmed all the PMR frequencies for me as of my request, because I basically gave them the sheet of the frequencies in the PMR 446 analog range, and they did all 16. However, on my Hytera radios, I've programmed in the CTSS squelch codes, whatever they're called. They're all. I've basically set them all to 67, which is like channel 1 of the CTCSS codes. But I could hear my radio from this Motorola, but I couldn't hear when I keyed up the Hytera, I couldn't hear anything on this. No, sorry, the other way around. I could hear this on the other radio, but not the other way. And it turns out, once I got the software to work, it turns out that they hadn't programmed the CTCS codes. They just left it all blank. So once I just set them all to 67 and re-encoded to the radio, it's fine now. So I ordered another 2. It turns out you can change the language of the of when it does this.
Turn on the radio 7.
Yeah, turn on the radio. You can change that language in the programming in Chinese. Now you can obviously hear.
Turn on the radio 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
So you can obviously hear an accent there, right? So what I might do is I might try and go into the software and see if there's a set of WAV files or audio files that it uses to overwrite those, and I might record my own, like 1, 2, 3, you know, in a more English accent, sir. Channel 1. So I might do that, but it is good because you can obviously know what channel you're on by just up and down, up and down. And again, with the high tierers, it's the same. This has a kind of boot up. This boots up, and then it goes like that, and then
6,
it tells you the channel, and then you can
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
and again that's got a slight accent, but it's slightly better.
12, 16, 15, 14.
I mean, it's a very very low quality MP3 that they've used for the radio. But yeah, it's they say it's 12 watts on the thing. It's apparently it's called the T2 Plus. It's got a 28 milliamp hour battery, which is good. 7 volts, 16 channels, 400 to 470. You do have the ability to program repeater stations and everything else in the software. It's not as advanced as the Hytera software because the Hytera ones are DMR, they're digital, so that you can do analog and digital on the same radio. You can have like 8 channels of analog, 8 channels of digital, or every channel you need you can have it as analog or digital. This is just analog. What I did find is, let me just turn this one on.
Turn on the radio 13.
Turn on the
Turn
radio.
on the radio 13.
Okay, so what I have found, hopefully this doesn't knock out the stream, but I'm going to key up on 1. Hello, hello.
12,
No,
13.
there we go. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, hello. So there is a tiny bit of like carrier wave hiss as you key up. But what I have found is when you're using 2 of these together, you don't have the squelch noise, which is quite cool, and there's no annoying Roger bleeps, which is good. On the other radio, if you're talking from the Hytera to this and back, you'll get a little bit of a as the squelch cuts in, and I think that's to do with the fact that it's 2 different brands of radio and how they sort of process. But 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You hear a little hiss, but there's no keying up or squelch. So yeah, because they're really, they feel really good in the hand. Again, the clips are removable. Great push to talk buttons. Solid, real solid. They're proper Motorola radios that are just being built for the Chinese market. Again, the green stickers, I just stuck them on myself so I can identify the radios when I get the other 2. They'll probably come tomorrow or Monday. But yeah, what they, basically the person at the other end of in the shop, they gave me the software, and obviously I needed the driver for the USB cable, which is the most annoying part. And I downloaded this kind of almost like a Google equivalent app here, and it automatically goes out and fetches the drivers that it needs that it can't find. So I got the driver from there, and then I was able to read the radio, and obviously the app's all in Chinese. But again, as soon as she told me where to set the language and where, everything else, I just leave it. So the first thing I did is I read from the radio So it populated the whole list of all the frequencies, and then I just changed the Chinese to English, and then repopulated the CTCSS code to 67 in all of the 16 slots, and then saved it, and then wrote back to the radio, and then I just plugged the other radio in and just did a write to radio, and it was bang, easy as pie. So yeah, it's a really good little solid little unit. You can't take the aerial off, unfortunately, but I'm thinking with the size of it, the fact that it's so tiny, but it's still solid, and it's still kind of like solid push to talk button top. The headset works well, sounds good. Obviously the headset was free. Basically they make these radios for hotels and karaoke's and restaurants, because there's lots of waiters and waitresses running around, serving customers and stuff. So that's why they have these kind of tiny little radios for those, because they need to communicate with all the staff. But you don't, there's a lot of these small little waitresses, and they've got nowhere to put a big chunky old Hytera that's like weighs about big solid lump of aluminium like this. They've got nowhere to put it. So they've got a little tiny one like that, and they'll just sort of clip it in their lapel, or down the side of in their back pocket or whatever, and they've got their little earpiece on, and they it's good for the thing. Another thing I bought, which I've been looking at for a long time, is I wanted to get a little head torch, a smaller one. So I found this one. And again, I didn't want to pay $29.99 or $49.99 or however much these head torches go for. I wasn't going to pay anything like that. But I wanted a good quality one. So I spent a long time on Taobao looking for this, and I'm pretty happy with it. Basically, it's waterproof. It's got the old angle when you put it on. It's got, you can angle it. It's got two Watsits of white and then a red, which is also very good. And what it has got here on this button, it's got the infrared. So if you turn that on, then you can literally wipe your hand across the torch and it'll turn it on and off. So you don't actually physically, if you've got gloves on, for example, and you're wearing it, and you want to quickly turn the light off, you just go zoop, and it turns it off, or zoop, and it turns it on. So that's kind of cool. And again, under £10, rechargeable with there's the USB recharge. Unfortunately, it's not USB-C recharging, but still it's recharging via USB. So there's no batteries to mess about with. It's got a great beam, and again the red, which I wanted because I didn't just want to use the white. And it's you can drop it in water. It's fully waterproof, and as I say, the elastic is great quality as well. So this is I would say this is a $29, $30 head torch. Sorry. Yeah, so I think that's definitely worth what I paid for it. And again, I paid for this similar to what I paid for the other one, which is this. I'll get it out of here. So my next favourite head torch was this one, but this is more like a This is the ones that the campers wear, but it's got the massive battery pack at the back with the double 18650s in here in this one, and it has got a lens on this, so you've got like this kind of, it's the same beam as your torch, right? And you've got but it's so chunky. It's it's great, to wear it, but it's so chunky. Whereas this thing is like proper slim. Batteries built in. I think it's got like 4 or 5 hours of operation. Recharge from USB. Whereas this one is recharge via power adapter. So if you're not plugged into power, you're not recharging this. Whereas this one, a cell phone battery will recharge this. So yeah, I've just been looking for a camping torch or a what do you call them? A trekking torch. The other ones I had were quite old school, more like they were being sold as like what's the word? Miner's torches. You know, clip them onto your that one I just showed you. That came with 2 clips that you actually clip onto your hard hat. So that will be actually solid onto your hard hat, and you've got the battery pack at the back, and but it was too chunky for me. But yeah, this small one was the built-in battery. This doesn't take the 18650s because it's too small, but it'll be I'm guessing it'll be one of the kind of kidney pack batteries, the kidney packs. So yeah, but it's good. Again, always good for but I'm like a blooming old woman on the shopping channel, really. I get sucked into all the adverts. But I'll have to show you some someday. Maybe I'll do a stream of the people that send the videos to try and sell the products, because there's a lot of products that they've come up with this ingenious ideas of various products of cleaning stuff and cutting stuff and peeling stuff, and they make a small video and they upload it, and you go through a little bit like the shopping channel. It's quite funny. Yeah, this one is because it's a tiny LED. It's a very modern low power LED. If I can kind of show it to you. It's got a tiny little LED with a tiny little lens on it, and then you do get a nice beam with this one as well. So you get a fairly nice beam, and then you get a sort of wash as well. But again, the main point of this is it's got the red. You can buy it without the red. You save about a couple of quid, I think. But I wanted a red light as well as the thing, but I didn't want like multiple. You get the ones with the big center white light and then the 4 old school torch. I mean, they're so old school. They're like bang, the sort of thing you find on Banggood or AliExpress. They're just crap. But these are made for proper hiking companies. So they're quite and again, this brand, I haven't heard of this brand, but this brand I checked on their shop, and they just make torches. They don't do anything else. So I'm guessing you can actually pay to rebrand this and sell it to Decathlon or some kind of hiking shop, and you could sell this for $29.99. I reckon you'd pay 30 quid for that. Pretty sure. I mean, I would if I was a hiker and I needed a torch. But I wanted to get a nice little tiny torch. I don't know. I just love torches. I showed you that one I had before, didn't I? With the one I brought back, that tiny little one. That stays in my emergency everyday carry toolkit that I just keep in my bag, because that's like go anywhere torch. And I tell you what, I did find, if my bag's sitting here, which it isn't because it's outside, they gave me, when I bought another torch, they gave me a head torch for free. But it takes AA batteries, so it's a freebie. But it had, it was a COB bulb, so it wasn't an actual LED. It was a COB, something on board. I forgot what it means. COB. Anyway. It was like a beam of light. a wash of light, not a single beam. It was like a fluorescent bulb across. So that was more like a wash of map reading kind of lovely goodness. So yeah, what I'm going to do with these radios, I think, is now that I've got the programming software for both the Hytera and the Motorola, I can pretty much program them to whatever I want. And then obviously I'm going to buy another 2, so that's 4 of the small ones. I've got 4 small ones and 4 big ones, and they all fit in a single Pelican-ish case. Obviously not original Pelican, but similar kind of molded plastic case with foam cutouts. And that's good. I was thinking of putting that in hire stock if people wanted to do a wedding or something like that and they needed some comms if they're doing a photo shoot or whatever. But I don't know. I don't think there's much money in it myself. I think walkie-talkies are about £4 a day hire charge. But the fact that they're so small, they could be used if you're wearing something that's not, you've got no space to clip a bloody great radio. If you've got like a tiny dress on or something, you can be quite discreet with that one. So yeah. What else was happening? Oh, I'll tell you what I did get. Through the post. Everybody knows what that is. So yeah, I don't think realistically that I'm gonna chuck the Jetboil and make a cup of tea on my desk. I don't know. I just think that if something happens to go a little bit, is a lot of stuff to get damaged, and the last thing I want is a small fire. So I'll test it in the kitchen, because obviously I've got to practice screwing on the bottle first. I haven't done that for years, so there's obviously going to be some gas leaking and all that. I just don't want I just don't want it to go kaput, because that would be a nightmare. So yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll try and get some video of me making a brew in my mobile brew kit or whatever. I'm still figuring out, once those adapters arrive tomorrow, they'll be here tomorrow, and I'm still figuring out if I can adapt the Nagoya onto the mag mount somehow. I have seen a YouTube channel where a guy's got a Baofeng on his dashboard of his camper van, and he's got the Baofeng UV5R with a SMA to normal mag mount adapter, but it looks really chunky. It's got like it's like a small SMA and then a big silver old school connector on the top of it. It's obviously some kind of adapter. That just looks a bit monkey pony. So I want to be clean SMA to SMA. I don't mind going from male to female, but yeah, that's what I thought I might do, because the thing, next to our kitchen we've got like a balcony kind of thing, which is kind of outside. We've had a barbecue there before, so that's where the washing machine is. So we do have a balcony, so I might do it there. I might just make a brew on top of the washing machine outside, because you're going to get some gas leakage, I think, when you first pierce the top of the can. I guess, I don't know, never done it before. But again, the last thing you want is a gas can that doesn't stop, because it's designed to screw on, and then hopefully I'll look at the top of the gas can and I'll check that there's a proper ball bearing in it and everything else, because it's obviously when you take the gas can back off, the ball bearing should keep the pressure right in the can. So again, I haven't inspected the cans properly. I just put it straight in the thing. Basically, the what's the word? The can and the stove fit in the jug quite well. So the stove and the can of gas and the lid all go together, and then that's it. So that's your hot food making. Well, yeah. The thing is, I'll have to go mobile with the camera and do some pre-records. I could do a green screen hike video. I'll have to get Sonny to sort of put a hairdryer in my face to make it look like I'm walking through a blizzard or something like that, with my head torch and my walkie-talkie with my headset. What a sad sack I am. Anyway, it's all fun and games. Got the tea back, you see. Cheers. So, did you mention that you're going to do the turbos this week? Oh, you said you've got an endoscope on the way. And you've got an endoscope on the way, and you're going to try and get down there and have a look at the valve and see if you can add some grease, right? See if you can loosen it up. So yeah, hopefully you don't have to take too much crap out of the engine just to get to the part, you know. Hopefully you've got kind of a visual from opening the bonnet, which is kind of good, because it's like did you see the new video about the Defender, about the engine warning light on the new Defender? They've got it back now, and they had to reflash this and flash that, and then update all the control modules and the control and then the camera stopped working. I mean, oh my god, to me it sounds like they've got a lemon, that motor. I don't know, it just sounds like that was rushed, put together, and it's got a lot of issues. I think they had to meet their delivery targets to get it over to the States, so they've kind of quickly bodged it, because the firmware's the old firmware apparently. Anyway, it's the latest version of TFL Studios with the white Defender, the new model. So it looks quite nice actually, but it's still 30 odd grand. So what else is happening? I've still been checking your parcel online, tracking it, and it's from the 30th of September until now. It hasn't reported anything back to me. It just said received by airline, and then I haven't heard anything else. And when I called them the other day, they said it's left China. Now, whether it actually has left China, or I don't know, because it does, if it has left China, it wouldn't have been. Yeah, that's true. It's not a lemon, it's a Land Rover. It's the same thing, isn't it? Christmas is coming, lights on the dash. Yeah, I know. Can you imagine though? Brand new car. God's sake. I mean, another one I did see is a bloke doing his Sprinter van. He's talking about his Mercedes Sprinter. And apparently, after 150,000 miles, that's when everything starts to go with them. So he said EGR valve, classic. He said this sensor, that sensor, inlet manifold cracking and all that kind of stuff. So he said, if you're going to buy one, make sure you budget for that stuff. It's not super expensive. I mean, I think the biggest part on it was the EGR valve for about 200 quid or whatever, and something else. But he said, if you get a 200,000 mile one, chances are all that stuff's already been done. already been changed. But if you get 150,000 mile one, or even slightly less, then all those problems are going to come at your doorstep. So bear that in mind. And he was chatting to a bloke in the States that just hires sprinter vans, and he says he tries to get rid of all of them before they reach 120,000 miles. That's his cut-off, because he knows as soon as it goes over about 120 to 150, then that's when all the things start to fall apart. So he'll just get rid of them before then, and he'll just get some new stock in, which is fair enough. So that's another, a lot of people have said that if you're picking up a car and it's got 150, 160,000 miles, chances are all the stuff that was going to go wrong has already been and gone wrong, and somebody else has already replaced the part, fixed the part, or whatever. The only thing you need to worry about is rot and rust, because that's just, unless people are seriously repairing that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's my 4th sense. I was thinking about yesterday's video. I did go on a bit. I did rant a bit about I was getting a bit political at one point. Yeah, it's not really what this channel's about. I'd rather talk about gadgets. Lovely. But yeah, I mean, I did. If you do find that movie, you can watch it on a Sunday. I'll let you. Castles in the Sky. But that little clip that I put in my video, they just copyright BBC apparently. So they claimed copyright, and because they did that, YouTube didn't let my video be shown to anybody, which is kind of pointless, because a lot of these live streams, or all of them so far, apart from yesterday's, they get repeated on YouTube. They just get left up there. I mean, nobody watches them, but they just get left up. I don't bother editing. I could spend some time editing this video and then re-uploading it with some proper content and proper, but who cares? Because again, unless I've got an Amazon link where people can buy this kind of stuff that I'm showing everybody how good it is, at the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to tell you how you could get hold of it. I don't even know if that walkie-talkie is available to buy outside of China. So, very strange. Anywho, so I've got to sort out my sleep schedule. I've been going to bed about 5-6 o'clock in the morning, and then getting up at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, so it's not great when Sunny has a class at 8 o'clock in the morning. By the time she's finished the day's work, I'm just getting up. Anyhow, I've got to do I've got to do all the housework tomorrow anyway. I've got to hoover the floor. It looks like a barn in here, like a barnyard. Bloody straw on the floor. Anyway, so I did notice the stream quality. I'm pretty happy with that. The stream quality is pretty good. It does get a bit choppy, but what I've seen from the repeats and the watching back is the picture will freeze and then catch up kind of thing. But the audio will be okay, which is great, because I'd rather have problems with the picture than with the audio, obviously. So, yeah. So, nothing else really much to report. I hope that the rest of my stuff comes tomorrow. I did order a jacket online. It was 5XL. Yeah. I've got to do circadian. I couldn't read that word. Yeah, the circadian rhythms. Yeah, I'm having a. Well, it's not so much that. It's that I've got a. I want to do a live stream where people are actually going to watch me. So I've got to do it in a time frame, or I just focus on Chinese social media, which I don't really want to do, because they don't really want to care what I want to talk about. They'd rather me tell them how good China is and how I love it here, like all the other shrills. But I'd rather keep those opinions to myself. So yeah, basically, not really sure what's going to happen next week. I'm planning to go out for a meal next Tuesday, I think. Sunny's got a hospital appointment on Monday. She's been learning her highway codes at the moment. So she's gone into the school and signed the contract and got her card. Because it's a big company, it's like BSM. So you go to the company, and if you want your lesson, you just call up and arrange the time, and you go in and swipe your card, and it takes however long you were with that teacher, kind of thing. It takes that off the card, so you have like 45 hours of driving inside the card. So however you use it, or you can do it all in a week, or you can do it all in a month, or whatever. So anyway, she's been going online and doing all the multiple choice questions and stuff, so she can actually do mock tests. So she did a mock test today, and she got, I think, she got 15 questions wrong out of 100. Unfortunately, out of 100, you can only get 10 questions wrong, otherwise you fail. So what she failed on was a lot of the legal stuff, like if you do this, how many points do they take off your license? And of course, she hasn't learned any of that. But all the road signs, all the basic kind of common sense stuff is she's okay with it. She knows the signals in the car, the signal for indicator, the signal for no stopping, and all that kind of stuff. But there is some other questions that, the legal side, that she needs to learn. And there's some rules that have changed. And then she has two parts. She has two practicals. So she has a theory test, and then she has two practical tests. So the theory test is the easiest one, really. She had to do a medical as well. So she's got to do a medical. They test your blood pressure, test your eyesight, and test your colour blindness. So it's all basically about safety. And then they take your photo, and then that's the photo that will be used on the license. And then it's kind of like I'm guessing it's probably a provisional license. You don't actually get a provisional license here, but you have to apply for I think you have to pass the theory test before you can do the practical. So she has to pass this part, which she can do online. No, sorry, she can't. She can learn online. She can practice online with all the apps and the questions, and they're the proper questions that's in the test. I think there's 10,000 questions in the test, and they'll choose 100 out of those 10,000. So, and the answers are multiple choice. So if you read the answers, you can't really get it wrong unless it's something that you have no clue about. Like, for example, if you drink and drive, what's the penalty as far as prison sentence goes? 3 to 5 years, 4 to 7 years, 7 to 5 years. It's like that. And unless you know the answer, you might get it wrong. So those things she got wrong because she didn't obviously have the answer to them questions before. She hadn't seen the questions before. So I think give her a week, and she'll go to the police station and do the theory. The good thing about the theory is if you fail it, you can literally do it again in. I think you have to book. I think you can do it the next day, but you can do it straight away. You don't have to wait. So that's quite good. Once she's got that done, then she can go to the head office and or the driving school, which is nearer where we live, and then she can arrange practical tests, and it's done in a closed road in their own facility. So it's a huge place. It's like a factory. So they've got their own roads, their own cars, their own teachers, everything. So so it's about 550 quid all in. with 45 hours driving, all the tests you need, all the bits and bobs you need, and everyone says if you can't learn by then, you shouldn't be driving anyway. So I think a couple of months, I think she'll be fine. But yeah, that'll be one less thing to worry about. So yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen in the next couple of months regarding what's going on in China. I'm not looking for any work at the moment, or basically looking to do any installs or anything like that. I'm not really interested at the moment. I'm just kind of thinking about what I can do back home, but they need to sort themselves out with the COVID nonsense. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what the election's going to be like in the US. Let's see who wins that. And then let's see what the COVID restrictions are next year after the winter's finished, because it's going to be another. I think it's going to be another tough winter with the infections. But saying that, I think that the treatments and the hospitals have improved a lot because people have had more practice, and they're kind of, I think they've got in the UK they've got like 3 Nightingale hospitals or 4 Nightingale hospitals where they've converted the event spaces to makeshift hospitals. They've got various ventilators and things like that all stocked up and ready to go, which is good. So as long as they can stop the influx of sick people into one single building, I think if they can stem it a little bit, because people are going to catch it, because that's just the nature of the beast. But I think once the treatment's there and people can get treated a little better and get maybe some new drugs or whatever it is, then yeah, I sent you that link. They're doing an experimental vaccine here that people can volunteer to take. Again, it's not a few of my friends, or Sonny's friends, like they're scientists, they said I wouldn't bother because it's not it's not a cure or anything. So yeah, we'll just wait and see what happens. Anyway, so where are we at now? 45 minutes of stream time. Nice. So I'm going to probably watch a movie in a minute, and see what happens. I mean, watch a movie and then go to bed, and then see what happens tomorrow. I've got some more stuff coming tomorrow, like I said, and then I think in the week I'm going to get my rhythm back, circadian rhythm. So I think I'll be going to bed at midnight, because it's basically, what is it now, 2 coming up to 2:30 in the morning, which is good for the UK, but everyone's asleep here at the moment. So it is Saturday night, but rum and vape. That's funny. I don't know. Yeah, well, like I said, I think the only way not to get it is don't travel, don't stay in dirty hotel rooms, because that's how I got a cold last time when I went up north. And just cover your face when you go out. Pretty much basic stuff, isn't it? Everything else you just got to see what happens. See what happens with the north, up north. So so far the southeast has been pretty good, but yeah. Well, like I say, hopefully nobody gets infected, but let's see what happens. Our mum's looking to get a new freezer. She wants to add to her freezer. So apparently Rachel's got one that she's got in the shed. So they're going to work out how to get it down and get it installed, because Mum would like to put some more stuff in the freezer. Stuff like bacon, and because I keep buying her all these big packs of bacon, but she doesn't eat it all, obviously, so she needs to freeze it. And she's only got one of those little slidey out freezery things. She needs an outbuilding freezer. She wants a chest freezer, but like a single one, a 60-litre one, not a monster. Anyway, not really else much to report, really. This stream has been quite uneventful. I do apologise about that, but I hope you enjoyed my walkie-talkie madness. And again, as I say, I'm very impressed with those radios. They're going to last a long time, I think, as long as I can get replacement batteries for them. Because obviously the battery's going to run out before the radio does. The radio's like a brick shithouse by the looks of it. So as long as I can get batteries for them, they should last quite a long time. So, and again, I'm not going to get a radio for 10 quid, anything like that. I have seen, I did see on the Motorola site, they were doing these like bright yellow things, and they were like 44 quid for the pair, but they just looked like Fisher Price. They were so ugh. Anyway, right, I'm going to love you and leave you, and thanks for watching and putting up with my my nonsense, and I shall speak to you during the week. If there's anything happening, I shall let you know. Give me some updates on your turbo issues. Take some pictures of the endoscope shenanigans. That'll be good. Right. I shall speak to you later. La 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 la.
The electric car industry